Hello everyone, welcome to another lesson. So this lesson will be talking about JavaScript Booleans. Booleans are very important in JavaScript. Even though we have talked about it before during the lesson of JavaScript data type, we discussed it as one of the data type in JavaScript. But beyond just being a data type, it is very important in JavaScript. Here in that it helps with things like comparisons, checking of condition because most expression always either evaluates to true or false, and that is what makes Boolean so important. Knowing for the fact that it has just two values, true or false. Now, the Boolean value of an expression is the basis for all JavaScript comparisons and conditions. You can see when it comes to comparisons and conditions in JavaScript, JavaScript program language relies a lot on Boolean value to either evaluate to true or false, depending on the conditions in the comparisons on conditions in the conditions in the expression. Key Boolean characteristics. True and false are Boolean data types. True and false are the only possible Boolean values, which means that Boolean data type has just two possible values, which could either be true or false. True and false must be written in lowercase, which means that you cannot have the Boolean output in capital T or capital F. It must be written in lowercase. True and false must be written without quotes, which means that when you want to assign value to Boolean, you don't use quotes like we do in string. So it must be written without quotes. Boolean values are fundamental for logical operations and control flow in JavaScript programming. Booleans are extensively used in if statements to determine the code block to execute based on the logic, which means that when it comes to loop, as we are going to be taking a look at in the forthcoming lesson, when it comes to conditionals, expression in JavaScript, you definitely need the Booleans is extensively used in order to get an output because only either truthy or false value can get evaluated in your expression. Booleans are extensively used in loop to determine conditions for looping. So when it comes to looping, that means doing the same thing over and over again. So JavaScript relies a lot on Boolean in order to determine the condition for looping, whether it is a truthy value or a false value. And then you can use Boolean function to find if the expression of a variable is true. So when you have an expression and you want to find out whether the output or the expression is true or false, you can use Boolean to test. So all of these are what we are going to be taking a look at in the next lesson. So in the next lesson, praise up as we continue to evaluate this in more detail.